everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. As you can see from the title of this video, this is going to be my third trimester pregnancy update, aka my last pregnancy update before baby girl was here. This is super exciting. Pretty sure I've mentioned it in my other videos. My due date is October 16th, but we are expecting baby to come early, so I wanted to film this video, get it edited, get it up, and so my next official video back, we will have baby girl here with us. I did take some notes, so if you see me looking at my phone, it's because pregnancy brain is at full-blown power at this point, and so throughout my third trimester I want to take some notes so I remember what I actually want to talk about. As I've said in my other videos, this video is to share with you all. Maybe you can relate to it, but it's also for me and baby to look back on. I think these videos will be so special for her and for me. I wish I had these videos of me, of my mom when she's pregnant with me. So yeah, it's important for me to make these videos. And with that super long intro, let's get to the update. So the first thing I have written down is that, I'm sorry if you can hear, that's we have like the litter robot for our cats, and it's turning right now. So we had our baby shower when I was exactly 34 weeks, which is a little bit late for baby shower. I feel like that's either average or like a little late. I know some people like to have them a little earlier, and looking back, I think for future kids I would probably have it like a tiny bit earlier. I liked that I had like a very full bump because I think it was cute for the pictures and nice memories, but by the end of the baby shower I was so tired. I didn't plan to be on my feet the whole time, but I basically was just like kind of saying hi to people, walking around, even preparing that morning. But it was super fun. I'll pop in some photos as I'm speaking. So technically my mom threw it for me, but I am quite particular about decor and just quite particular about most things, and so I wanted to make sure it was kind of like the way I wanted it to, and it turned out perfectly. I love the color scheme. I love the food table. We had a balloon arch that my husband's mom actually like blew up and put together, which was much harder than we anticipated. And yeah, it just ended up being a really fun day. The next thing I want to talk about was weight gain. If this is triggering for anyone, please just click out. I know in the past it would probably be harder for me to hear, and I always say that if it was up to me, I would have liked to have started having kids when I was like probably like 25. Some people might think it's young, some people might think it's old. I'm 28, I actually turned 28 yesterday. I didn't know if I was gonna have a baby when I was 27 or 28, but looks like 28 is the answer. But now I see the reasons why. I think I am so much more comfortable in my body. I'm so much more confident than I was even at 25. I just know myself a lot better. I think I'm a lot more equipped to raise the children that I like. In my mind, I don't know how to, yeah. So it's funny, I remember once I was talking to the parents of these kids I babysit, and I was saying how like I don't like when parents don't like their kids, and they laughed. And it's funny because I was like kind of joking, but also like seriously. I feel like sometimes it's very clear to me, especially like younger kids, that people are like so annoyed with them. And in my head, like I understand having kids is stressful. I understand being tired, and I'm not discounting that at all, because yes, like it's a lot of work, but I feel like I can just tell the difference between people that like are tired because you're tired having a kid, and people that just like generally don't really like their children. And that bothers me because your kids didn't ask to be here. I was the one, I'm choosing to have baby. I chose to decide I wanted to have kids. So in my head, it's up to me to give her the best life possible, to raise her to be confident, to raise her to be kind, to raise her to be loving, including self-love. If there's one thing I would hope for baby, I hope she's the most loving person, but at the top of that, self-love. I hope she has an unshakable type of self-love, because I think that alone can take you so far. And especially in this day and age, I think so many people don't have it, and I know it's something I'm working on and have been working on, and I just cannot wait to show her and constantly remind her of how wonderful she is, so that she internalizes that and knows her worth. I went on a little bit of a rant there, but yeah, so how did I even get here? Yeah, I was talking about weight gain. Anyway, so yeah, my point is, if it's triggering, skip it. So at this point, I actually just went to my doctor's office, but also my birthday was yesterday, so I don't know if my weight's a little bit off. I would assume it is, but I'm actually right up to my pre-pregnancy weight, which if you see in my first or second video, I think I talked about in both, I actually lost about 15 pounds my first trimester. So I've now gained officially 15 pounds. I might be off a little bit. And kind of just talking about overall body image, I know that during pregnancy, a lot of women struggle because your body does change drastically very quickly, and I sympathize with those women. And before before getting pregnant, I was actually quite concerned that I would have those issues. And I recognize that I have not gained that much weight, and most of the weight I've gained has been, I mean, I actually think like almost all the weight I've gained is literally just my stomach. And so I recognize by saying like I actually haven't had really body image issues, that's coming from a standpoint of not gaining 30, 40, 50 pounds. At the same time, if you are struggling with that and struggling with your body changing so much, I hope you give yourself grace. You're growing your child. Like, that is so, so beautiful. I know it's easier said than done, but really at the end of the day, your body is the least interesting thing about you. I like to think of it as something that actually really helped me, which might sound a little bit weird, is that anything that like bothered me on my body, I thought about someone that had something similar, and I was like, do I ever look at them and I'm like, oh, like so disgusting? Like, no, I don't care. Something else I was talking to my husband about is that, especially on TikTok, your For You page is very catered to you, and something that I want to make sure, even on my Instagram, I want to be sure that I was seeing different type of bodies. I wasn't only seeing very thin bodies. And so I see bigger fat women on my For You page on TikTok a lot. And I always think like they look so pretty, but then with me, when I'm a higher weight than I like to be, I like criticize myself so much. And it's so weird because why am I doing it to myself, but other people, like, I don't see it as a flaw, and it's not a flaw. To me, what's most important is health. I don't think that means that you can't have physical body goals or want to change something about yourself. I think that's okay, as long as you're doing it in a healthy way and also appreciating your body for what it actually is in that time. So yeah, my body image, I'm pretty good about it. I love having a tummy. I think it's actually so, so cute. I show it off. We just went on a walk and my tummy was fully out, and like, I think especially women love seeing pregnant bellies. I feel more comfortable with a pregnant belly than when I didn't before. But I'm also super excited to, after baby's here and after I have some time to recover and feel comfortable working out again, I'm excited to kind of start, not from zero, but like basically in the gym again and doing completely what I want to do in the gym. I think it's going to be super fun. I'm excited to kind of see where I can go again. Something that I love about lifting is that you really don't really have a limit. And then also with lifting, you can kind of, to an extent, sculpt your body the way you want it to look. And when I first started lifting, up until like pretty much this pregnancy, I wanted like bigger shoulders and a wider back, and I think I definitely achieved that. Because I have not been lifting anything like I did before, my shoulders have definitely gotten smaller, my back has gone smaller, my legs, most of the muscles gone. My butt is still like, it's not small. It's funny, I always tell my husband, I'm always like, look how small my butt is. And he's like, it's not small, but it's definitely smaller than what it was before, because most of the muscle in my butt is gone. But even before lifting, I had a big butt. So yeah, I'm excited to decide like kind of how I want to sculpt my body again and do that. Baby's obviously priority, but lifting and going to the gym is something that really helps my mental health, and it's just something I enjoy. So I'm going to make sure to also make that a priority just for myself. I did also want to talk about baby's size. So as I've said in every video, baby is a very big girl. It's not a surprise to any of us because I was 9 pounds when I was born. I did go a little bit over, but it's still pretty big. Then my husband was over 10 pounds when he was born, like around his, I think actually on his due date or around, but yeah, he wasn't like early or late. So we are both fairly big babies, him being a very big baby. So it's not unexpected. A lot of her, what's it called? I don't know. A lot of her estimated weight is because she has very long arms, very long legs. The doctor that I saw said that from like 12 weeks, he could tell how long her legs and arms are. And every single ultrasound tech I have is always just like, wow, like long arms, long legs, which I think will be very fun. I hope she's a tall girl. So I have my growth scan actually at 3. So I will pop in what they say her estimated weight is as of, I'm 38 weeks and 4 days today. I am expecting her to be big, but as I've said, the weight that they do growth scans off of is an estimated weight. I've heard people say, oh yeah, they expect my baby to be 9 pounds, it came out 8, or they expect my baby to be 7 pounds, they came out 9. So who knows exactly what she'll be. I am going to guess she's gonna come out as like right under 9 pounds or right above. I think really her arms and legs are throwing off her weight. I don't think she's going to be, I would be surprised if she was over 9.5 pounds, I guess is what I would say now, but who knows? If you want to guess, I guess you could put it in the comments. I'm back from my appointment and I'm editing, and I realized I also forgot to mention something that I wanted to. So first thing, baby is measuring at 9 pounds 11 ounces, so she is still a very big girl. Again, that's estimate. And then also this morning at my other appointment, my OB, why are you laughing?
Something for down there putting the trash out. I don't know if you like standing up.
The lighting's changing because Corey's closing the blinds. But my OB checked to see how dilated I was. I'm dilated to a 1, but apparently my cervix is very high. So it's hard for it to get up there, and it is not the most comfortable thing, but that I can bear. She also did a membrane sweep for me, which if you don't know what that is, that's when the doctors pretty much like are already up there with your cervix and they swoop it around their fingers, and the point is to release prolactins. I'm probably saying that a little bit wrong. That's the same thing you actually find in semen. That's why they say like if you're trying to induce labor, have sex. So we'll see if that works. If a membrane sweep works, you'll go into labor in I think 48 hours. So we'll see. The membrane sweep was very, very uncomfy, just to warn you if you have to get one, and especially for me because my cervix was so high. Basically her whole hand was up my vagina and it was not comfortable. All right, back to the regular video. The next thing I want to talk about was some pregnancy cravings. Up until I was probably like 16 weeks or so, I could not eat like most things. My appetite went down very quickly from like week 7. I never actually threw up throughout my pregnancy, other than once I was brushing my tongue and like my gag reflex is gone and I threw up. Other than that, I never threw up. I just had pretty bad nausea and just food sounded disgusting. So it wasn't until like probably 16 weeks that I could eat like a few more things but still didn't feel well. And then by 21 weeks, definitely better. But I still have not gotten to the point that my appetite was where it was before pregnancy, or where I'm able to eat everything. Like I still can't drink lukewarm water, which is so weird because before I would never put ice in my water. Now I can't drink water without ice, or it's just like not good. I just had my first bowl of oatmeal that I've had basically I think this whole pregnancy. I may have had oatmeal like before that 7-week mark, but I don't remember. But basically my whole pregnancy, this was the first time I had oatmeal again. I'm trying to eat it even though it doesn't sound good, because I know it's good for getting your milk supply up, and I want to prepare it because I would love to breastfeed for at least a year if possible. Throughout my pregnancy, I was really like waiting for that time. Like people are like, oh, I can just eat and eat and eat and eat, because for me, I had such the opposite. I was like, I want to eat, like I want to be enjoying food like pregnant people usually do. Like that's like the stereotype. People say they're eating for 2, which you shouldn't do. That's not accurate. And I did have some days where I was like super hungry, and on those days I took full advantage. I did not restrict myself at all. I didn't restrict myself throughout pregnancy, but even like on those days where I was super hungry, I would have like an extra treat or 2, because I just would like, those days were so fantastic because they weren't very common. But I did write down some cravings that I had during the 3rd trimester specifically. Some of them are the same. Fruit has been throughout. Fruit has been the one food that I could eat even like at my most nauseous time. Fruit was just delicious. I put Thai curry. I've had a few Thai curries before, and even just like Thai food in general tastes super good to me. Noodles was definitely something I ate a lot in my 3rd trimester. I haven't had it I haven't had it in a few weeks now, but like especially like earlier on in my 3rd trimester, noodles delicious. Smoothies, again with the fruit, smoothies are something I've been able to have throughout my pregnancy. It is just so refreshing. I've not had them as much again in the last few weeks than I did versus like my 1st trimester and 2nd trimester, especially when it was one of the only things I could stomach. I think sometimes I would even have 2 smoothies a day. Oh, and the last thing I put was soda. I do not drink soda at all. First of all, I think soda is terrible for you. I don't think anyone should be drinking, if I'm being completely honest. I just normally don't even like the taste. I don't like how carbonated it is, but definitely during my 3rd trimester, anytime my husband was drinking soda, like I would take a few sips because it just tasted so good for some reason, which is so weird. And it's not the carbonation, because I would try and get Zevias and stuff like that, which I'm more comfortable with drinking, but it didn't hit the same, so I don't know. The last few things I wrote, so I'm definitely tired. I'm not as tired as I was 1st trimester. I feel like that tiredness is just extreme and just like a wave over you. The tiredness I feel now is more just like I'm tired because I have a huge belly in front of me. So it's not something I'm used to, especially as someone, I normally gain weight in my legs and my arms. This is the first time in my life I've pretty much been like very top heavy, and I'm not used to it. And I can tell my body's not used to it. My body's like, what the heck is going on? So it's kind of been that kind of tiredness. And then also along with it, unfortunately, as you get bigger and later into your pregnancy, it is just much harder to sleep. I'm getting a little bit better now. There is a time for maybe like almost a month, I had like a middle of the night schedule. Like it's the best way to put it, because I would wake up like almost every 1 to 2 hours. And if I was lucky, I'd fall back asleep, but very rare. Now, if I wait to go to sleep until like midnight or 1 a.m., I can usually sleep until like 5:30, which probably you're like, that's not a lot. it's better than what it was. And 5:30 is a happy time for me to see that I'm woken up, because my husband wakes up around 6:30 usually for work, and I don't really like being, it's weird because I used to wake up at like 4:30 when I was working and be awake for 2 hours before him, but I was doing stuff like I was journaling, I was doing like my workouts, going to the gym. So I don't really like being awake just like sitting in bed while he's sleeping. Like that's not fun for me, and it just like, I don't even have like the energy to get out of bed yet. So if I see 5:30, I'm like, okay, well at least I'm only gonna be awake by myself for an hour. And then usually I will eat something and fall back asleep around 8:30 or 9 and get like a few more hours. Or if I'm not able to fall asleep then, I'll take a nap later in the day. And that's pretty much been my sleep schedule right now. I also have been doing things to try to encourage labor, prepare for labor, which I'm going to film a separate video for that actually once I go through labor and see how the process is and talk about it and see if the things I did helped. I guess we won't know for sure. We don't know if the things I'm doing are actually doing something or if my labor would have been the same regardless. And the last thing I always do is show my tummy in these videos for little bump updates. So this will be the last one on video. Let's see, the camera hopefully won't die. Ooh, I'm on the floor today, so it's a little bit more work. Can you even see everything? Yeah. So this is baby from the side. She's actually low. I think I had to tilt my camera so you can actually see. Okay, hopefully you can see all of her, but definitely much bigger. It's her from the front. You can't even see all of her. Can do this. Very big. And I pretty much, my belly, I know some people go like wider and out. My belly's just out. Like the width of me is basically the same, a little bit wider, but straight out. And I can see that it's not showing up very well on the camera, but I do have a lot of stretch marks just like all around here. It's not showing up on the camera as much as it is in person. Actually, even in person, I have to like move to see them because they're almost like shiny, I guess is the best way to put it. And it's so funny how quickly you can get stretch marks, because I did my maternity, oh, did I mention that? I also did a maternity photo shoot. Some of the photos have my husband, so I guess like maternity / family. I'll also insert some of those photos here. My sister took them for us, and I did one that was mainly by myself in like a twill, very extravagant robe that I got from Mama Bump Rentals. If you're looking to do a maternity shoot, I would check them out. You can rent these gowns for like $100, $150, probably somewhere a little bit more expensive. That obviously is not cheap either, but I think it's better than buying something like that, because like what else are you gonna do with that? And then we also did some outside and just like more casual clothing. I just wanted those photos to be a little bit more raw during golden hour, and I love how they turned out. My sister did a great job, and I'm very grateful to have those photos and to not have to pay a photographer, because that gets quite expensive. What was I going to say? Yeah, with the stretch marks. So my maternity photo shoot, I did that when I was 35 weeks on the day, and I had like 1 or 2 stretch marks. I remember I saw my first stretch mark on my stomach when I was like 32 weeks, and it was very, very like silvery and light. Now I'm 38.5 weeks, and there's so many. And it's not a surprise to me. I had stretch marks before pregnancy, not on my stomach, but just like on my hips, my legs, on my boobs, on my arms, so it was not a surprise to me. I know stretch marks are also genetic. My mom has stretch marks. I don't know if she had them before having babies or not, but either way, my sister is a thin person. She has stretch marks. So yeah, I knew it was coming. My stomach has also grown significantly. As I said, I carry like most of my weight in my legs, my butt, my arms. My stomach generally stays quite small compared to the rest of my body. Throughout pregnancy, my stomach has grown about 16 inches, like waist-wise, which is kind of crazy to me. And most of that was because I don't even think I didn't really have a belly until I was 22 weeks. Like, and even then it was like little. My belly really popped around 24 weeks, and then from then on, extreme growth. So I would say like probably at least 10 of those inches have been within the latter half of my pregnancy, actually like the latter third almost. So I think it would be unreasonable to expect my stomach to not have any stretch marks, because it is stretching a lot. And with a lot of stretch marks and a lot of stretching, my belly is very itchy. I'm using a lot of lotions and creams just to keep it moisturized. I thought this video would be shorter, but it seems like all my update videos are quite long, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut off there. It is almost bittersweet. No, not even bittersweet. I'm very excited for baby to be here, but it's just kind of weird to think that I filmed one of these when I was only 20 weeks pregnant, and now I'm 38 and a half. and that baby will be here in like less than a week. Yeah, just crazy to think that. My life will change very soon, and I'm so excited for that change. I hope these videos have been entertaining. If you're pregnant, something to relate to. If you're not pregnant, just fun to watch. As I said in every single one of these videos, I enjoyed watching these before I was pregnant, and I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. Bye.